Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast, and now game 1 in a set between Thermaltake's Apollo's AK sponsored by Thermaltake. Meanwhile, Gamma Bears is Sen spawning as the blue Zerg, AK spawning as the red Zerg here on the bottom right hand side of the map of Belshir Vestige. Meanwhile, on the top left we do have Sen. So it is gonna be red versus blue, Zerg versus Zerg in this mirror match. As most mirror matches go, we do see a little bit of a variation. Sen looks like he may be going for a nope, just a delayed overlord, deciding to go for a 10 overlord as opposed to AK's 9 overlord, and Sen is going to be using that extractor trick. So Sen now sitting at 11 over 10. Slight variations. I don't quite know, to be honest, the variations and what they mean in terms of trying to be more economical. I do believe one does differ from the other ever so slightly if you're trying to go for a spawning pool first or a hatchery first, as you just get the amount of resources that you need slightly faster. Now, coming across, you can see that AK is quickly just training up more drones, as is Sen. And Sen is going to be going for a spawning pool first at the nearly identical time as AK. So the builds, even though they are not the same, they pretty much seem mirrored exactly, except that Sen does have a slightly faster drone production over his opponent. Perhaps the larva production is slightly faster because he was constantly able to produce larva, as opposed to AK getting caught up on 3 larva. That I am not 100% sure about. Now, AK does place down his hatchery slightly faster. Sen not a step behind, as we already see an extractor coming in from Sen. So this mirror match has Sen, I believe, ahead 1 worker right now, as AK now also training up 2 additional drones. So all I'm telling you is pretty much everything I see, and I don't know what quite to expect from this Zerg versus Zerg mirror match. Now, Sen has come in from the weekend, I believe, splitting the series with Fly yesterday on Saturday, 1 game apiece. Meanwhile, AK, I believe, lost both of his games on Friday, so he's really hoping to get a victory here to at least not come away from the weekend without any points. That would be very sad for him. He wants to earn as many points as possible for seeding purposes, and also not being forced to play in those up and down matches where he'll actually get demoted back to the semi-pro league and then have to make it back up. Coming across, we can see that the overlord is being pushed back. AK chasing that overlord as it does back off. Meanwhile, the overlords are in position here, and so far we haven't seen much of anything from these players. Pretty standard openings. It looks as though both players setting to play an economic game, and it's going to be a little bit of time before we see that many units. Both players feeling confident enough to go into the hatchery, and now that they've scouted out their opponent as well, they think to themselves, you know what, I don't think you're going to be that aggressive, and I'm just going to try to drone up even further. AK now getting in a large number of drones. It looked like he's going in for more drones. Meanwhile, Sen may be transitioning into Zerglings a little bit faster. Let's take a look at the army supply. It is exactly even right now, as Sen does take a slight advantage in terms of the worker supply here. And this mirror match has just been exactly that, just pretty much exact mirrors so far, as we now see a Baneling nest coming in from Sen. Is Sen going to be defensive with those Banelings or offensive? That is going to be a nice critical question as well. The Banelings can deal a lot of damage to your opponent, or you can perhaps just have your Zerglings, or have your opponent's Zerglings run into your Baneling unknowingly and detonate it that way. Zergling battling it out. Sen does have metabolic boost. Now just skipping and jumping all the way across the map. AK also having metabolic boost. We can see triple extractors coming in from Sen. Wow, that is a very heavy gas tech, and it looks like he's going to be transitioning into Hydralisk. Into Mutalis. He knows how many workers he has exactly. This build is going to be absolutely tight. Drones now being pulled off, and you can see 15 workers on this hatchery here, 3 on each gas, and we are going to be playing defensive by Sen, Meanwhile, AK is going to be perhaps try to be aggressive with Zerglings and Roaches. The key question will be how much time it takes for that Spire to come up. Sen is going to be able to come out ahead significantly. Let's take a look. Army supply versus worker supply. AK more than double his opponent right now, as we see Banelings going to be used. Spine Crawlers also being used as well. Let's see how much is going to go down here as the Zergling simply runs by, doesn't see many units back at home, and the army supply is still 31. Where is all of AK's units? Is it all in the production tab? Let's see. What army supply is 31. So yes, I believe the Roaches are finally out on the field. All right, yes, yes, AK is on the bottom in the units tab. So confusing. Yes, so 10 Roaches, 14 Zerglings, and those Roaches are going to be looking to deal a lot of damage. Sen, with the proper response, getting in a lot of Spine Crawlers. He knows that as long as he can hold this off, he will get the victory. He needs Zerglings, and he also needs Banelings. You can see 9 Spine Crawlers now being trained and morphed in as Banelings are now coming in. The Banelings could bust apart all of these Spine Crawlers as well. This is going to become a very, very close battle. One Baneling goes down without doing much. More Zerglings and Banelings need to come in together. What's going to be happening here? Roaches now going after the Queen as the Banelings are going to try and do a little bit of splitting and splash damage. There you go. Banelings detonating on each other, and not quite sure who came out in that engagement. Sen sitting at 48, AK sitting at 64, but there is a lot of Spine Crawlers here, or there was before those Banelings found them. Another Spine Crawler gets taken down, but there are still 5 more in position here. This Baneling, very, very sad, perhaps needs the burrow. We can see Mutalisk now being added to the skies, and we definitely need to get more and more Mutalisk. We are, I believe, Larva limited. No, we are now gas limited. But with 8 Mutalisk in the air, the Roaches are now in retreat. AK must know that something is up, must believe that his Roaches are in danger and now retreating. And Sen with a really, really strong hold there, as AK now going to lose his Overseer. Hydralisk then now coming in. Spore Crawlers also being placed down in order to defend. We can see 3 bases now for both players as the Zerglings of Sen want to try and clean up this third base here. AK is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Does he have enough Roaches and Hydralisk to really deal with the Zergling Mutaling strategy? Overlords now getting popped in the field, and AK is now going to be spending Larva to replace those Overlords. AK now almost supply block, no, down to 75 over 84 as the Overseer is in position. Roaches, all the Overlords hiding right next to this Spore Crawler, as it should. Zerglings have stopped this third base from doing any more mining as the Mutalisk now try and focus down some units. Hydralisks are in position to get in some easy shots onto the Mutalisk, but the Mutalisk do regenerate hit points relatively quickly as AK is now supply blocked. 82 over 76. Triple Overlords now being trained. More Hydralisks need to be trained as well, as all the Mutalisks need to do is, not fly into a flock or a group of Hydralisks. Those Hydralisks will pick those units out of the sky in just a few seconds, as Sen still has about a 14 supply advantage. All right, Hydralisks are nearby. Mutalisk now still picking off another Overlord there. AK not learning his lesson. He needs to bring back all those Overlords. Queen now being brought over, and this could be bad. The Queen now backing away. Another Overlord, a drone taken down, and these Mutalisks just absolutely destroying everything as the Mutalisks now make sure to not get taken out by those Spore Crawlers, just staying outside of combat range and now engaging against the Extractor, hoping that the Glaive Worms take it down instead. Mutalisks owning the skies and preventing a third base from going down. That drone will get killed, as we see Sen is now up on 3 bases with a slight Harvester advantage. That small advantage could translate into big, big things. 78 supply versus 53 in terms of the army, but the Hydralisks have been able to get off a couple key shots there. No Groove Spines, though. So no Groove Spines, no +1 range, and the Mutalisk will be able to get away. Meanwhile, Roach is able to push in onto the third. Only 5 or so, but they are not going to be able to engage against Sen's Roaches, as the Roach Swarm is following this up. This is bad for AK. He has the Hydralisk to deal with the Mutalisk, but he does not have anything else to deal with these Roaches. Those Roaches are going to be coming in mass, and now that there is Roaches and Mutalisk working together, This is going to be an absolute nightmare. I do not know if AK can hold this. The unit composition is simply too strong. As the Hydralisk, pick off 3, 4 Mutalisks very, very quickly, very easily. And now we need to see an engagement here. So many Roaches, and the Hydralisks do not have the groove spines. We now see Burrow being researched as the Roaches are currently seen at 0-0 upgrades. Hatchery may get sniped down. Yes, it does. As Sen now trying to back off here. AK, I guess being a little bit too passive, allowed Sen to walk in with the Roaches and take down the natural expansion. He could not allow that to happen. AK perhaps was trying to bait Sen. Sen said, you know what, I'm just going to take down your key building. What are you going to do about it? And AK was just trying to buy time for those 1-0 upgrades. It never came to fruition as the Roaches still trying to take down these Roaches here. I do not believe there are that many Mutalisks left in the air, so these Hydralisks really need to get that groove spine range going in order to finish it off. Alright, a couple of Mutalisks taking down damage here as there is 3 spine crawlers at this high ramp location. Only place to attack now is this third base. Is it going to be enough as we now see Roaches have somehow made their way into the main base of AK, and with the worker kill count already in the 20s and growing, AK needs to deal absolute tremendous damage here. Roaches, Hydralisk now still battling it out. 2-0 or 1-0 upgrades against 0 or against 1-1 or 1-0 as well. Both sides, excuse me. Blue is Sen. He has 1-0 upgrades against AK's 0-0. And with that, that will be the GG. AK already had 1-0 upgrade. So Sen was trying to catch up. All right, Sen was on top. AK was on bottom. Why did I think that they were swapped? All right, just getting a little bit discombobulated there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. Please stay tuned for Game 2 versus Sen versus AK. Will Sen make it a clean sweep 2-0, or will AK be able to split the series?